All right, well, today is my birthday. What a birthday. 40 years old. It's funny because I've always looked at birthdays as just a day to hang out with my friends. We normally go and hang out at a pool somewhere and have some drinks and then go to dinner and everyone just has a good time. It's just really an excuse to kind of relax and just have a good day with my friends. Never looked at age as a thing or as something that was important. Now that I'm 40, this was the first year that I can think about where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 40 years old, or I'm a certain age, right? And I think a lot of it has to do with, being able to have all this time where I'm just sitting in the house and not really doing anything because of everything that's going on right now. But it has given me a little bit more drive to want to do more. More videos, more photography, get out and do more things, take more trips, even if they're day trips, like just get out and do something, don't stay in the house. Wanting to do more video is also obviously good because that helps with my skill level, and I can get that out to the world as well. So once again, this is 40. I don't feel 40. I don't even know that I feel 30. Time's gone by pretty quick for me. It hasn't dragged on. It's just hard to believe that I'm here now and I'm at this age. And here's the thing. I honestly didn't think I was ever going to make it to even be 20 years old. No, I take that back. I guess I didn't expect to be 30. I did a lot of things in my life that were not the smartest. Got in a lot of trouble. And actually I didn't get in a lot of trouble. I didn't get caught with some of the things that I did. I'm not going to go into those for obvious reasons, but I also did a lot of dangerous things. I was in a rollover. I had a door dropped on my back when I was getting out of the vehicle and really messed up my back. Lots of bike accidents, stuff like that. So, we'll take a little walk to the mailbox and see if there's anything there. So, man, it's hot out here. Arizona life, man, I'll tell you, summer's a little brutal. Oh, you can kind of see those planes. I don't know if you guys can see those. I live very, very, very close to an Air Force base. And so it's kind of cool. Good to see F-35s fly over all day long, constantly flying over. A couple times they've flown pretty low too, pretty cool. Then a couple weeks ago they did a flyover, so that was cool. Anyways, so where was I? Oh yeah, not living to see 40. So yeah. 16 wasn't that important. Didn't really care. I liked cars, but didn't care so much about driving. It just wasn't that important to me. What would be next? 18, I guess. 18. Didn't smoke. Didn't care about buying cigarettes. Still didn't drive. Didn't care. When I turned 19, though, I did get my first vehicle only because I had to. I had a 1965 Ford F100. That was actually a pretty fun truck. I'm not a big truck guy. I appreciate them trucks for what they are. But at the time it was what I could afford, and I bought it for $100. It taught me a lot. I learned a lot about working on cars. And growing up, I did learn a lot about cars in general. The guy who I call my dad, he constantly rebuilt vehicles, like ground up restorations. We worked on a 69 Chevelle SS. He had a Corvette Stingray. It was like a 64 split window. Really, really, really cool. We worked on that Ford. He had an old Jeep. He had an old Land Cruiser. So I learned a lot from working on those cars, but that truck taught me a lot because it broke down a lot. And you would think like kid's first vehicle is not good to have something that breaks down all the time. But it taught me to be reliant on knowledge, learn how to work on vehicles, and not freak out when things happen. When things go to shit, just don't freak out about it. So next would be 21. All right, so the thing is with being 21 is what's the big thing that happens, then you get to drink. But by that point in my life, I had already been drinking all the time. I shouldn't say all the time, like I wasn't a drunk. But I had friends who their parents would go out of town and we'd all go over, hang out at their house for the weekend, and we'd drink. The parents didn't necessarily, it wasn't that they didn't care, but they knew if we were going to do something, we were going to do it no matter what. And better there than somewhere else. And I know you're thinking, well, what about your mom? Where was she at in all this? And she was around. She was definitely there. The problem is that with me at that time, like, it didn't matter. She could tell me not to do something, and if I wanted to do it, I was just going to do it. But she was always very open-minded in the fact that she knew that I was going to learn my lessons, and I was pretty responsible. Even though I made some bad decisions, I was pretty responsible, and I wasn't going to do something that was going to be just absolutely terrible. So when I turned 21, I was the first of my friends to turn 21, and I was the first to drink, but I couldn't go to a bar because guess what? None of my friends could go to the bar with me, and we'd already been drinking. So when I turned 21, it wasn't that big of a deal. All right, so fast forward a couple of years, and now we're at a point where all of my friends are 21, and we're all drinking. We go to bars all the time, and one of our really good friends, his dad basically just left him the house. So he would leave him money to get food, and we would, so we use that money to get food, and then we'd always find a way to get alcohol, kegs, all that stuff, and his house was basically a party house, and so most nights we were there drinking, partying, having a good time. So that lasted 2 or 3 years until one morning I woke up and had a really bad hangover, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And I said, okay, I'm done with that. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. And now even to this day, I don't really drink all that much. So that, that's one of those situations where I'm kind of glad it happened. I'm kind of glad that I no longer drink as much as I used to. I do have my moments. Like today would normally be a day where I would be at a pool somewhere, drinking all day long, going to dinner, people buying me shots. Getting just really, 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 really drunk, and then maybe not have another drink of anything for months and months. So if we fast forward from there, what would be the next? I guess that kind of covers 25th birthday, 30. 30 wasn't important to me. 35 wasn't important to me. And here we are today at 40. And still 40 just doesn't feel crazy. It doesn't feel like I don't feel 40, I guess, and that's a good thing, I think. So what's important now? Important to me, things that are important in my life now are going to be friends, family, photography, fitness, my health, videography. I really, really, really want to start building my photography, videography business. Not to the point where that's what I'm doing to make money, but I'd like to shoot more projects. I'd like to do more things. Making these vlogs has really kind of inspired me. I have a backlog of videos that I still need to edit and post. I have some special ones that I really need to get done for a few people. And I have a bunch of that I've written down that I really want to start creating. I did that Gains box the other day, which I thought was pretty cool. Pretty cool to go through. I got my next Gains box. I haven't filmed that yet, but I'm going to do that. I got a sample box of Built Bars, so I'm going to go through that as well. I have another Nomadic, it's called Nomadic. They're also a subscription box. I'm going to go through that as well. So I've got a lot of things in the works that I want to go through, but being today, feeling how I feel, wanting to really do something more and be more productive, I guess would be the best way to put it, with my life. It's where we are today, and that's kind of why I wanted to make this video. It's kind of a reminder for me that, hey, you said you wanted to do these things. You're 40 years old. Let's make them happen.